The world of fashion has entered a new era, one that no longer confines beauty to rigid measurements or airbrush perfection. A quiet revolution has been unfolding on runways, in magazines, and across social media, powered by the rise of curvy and plus-size models who have redefined what glamour means. These women are not just faces of campaigns, they are leaders of a movement. They've challenged stereotypes, rejected exclusion, and demanded representation in an industry that once silenced them. Bioglam Curvy Models represents the evolution of glamour, beauty that celebrates the body in its most authentic form. Their glow comes not from unattainable ideals, but from confidence, resilience, and unapologetic self-love. Among these icons of modern beauty, one name shines brightly: Brielle Anyea. Her story stands as a blueprint for how passion, persistence, and purpose can transform both an industry and a generation. Brielle Anyea always knew in her heart that beauty didn't have a single shape or size, even if the industry around her insisted otherwise. Born in Baltimore, Maryland on January 16, 1995, she began life in a place that carried with it the everyday struggles and richness of community, culture, and resilience. Growing up, she was drawn to performance and the arts. For a time, acting felt like the right path: stage, emotion, self-expression. She moved to Los Angeles at a young age, hoping to carve out a space for herself in entertainment, studying theater and business with ambitions beyond a single lane. But life rarely unfolds in straight lines. As she brought her passion into audition rooms, she encountered rejection after rejection, not for lack of talent, but because she didn't fit the narrow ideas of what a lead actress should look like. At one point, agents told her she was too fat, too pretty for a black girl, and advised her to lose size or adjust her appearance just to be considered. That moment became a turning point. She understood that if the gatekeepers refused to change, she would have to forge her own door. She began exploring plus-size modeling, though that term itself carried baggage. In 2015, she started modeling in fits and starts, accepting small jobs, experimenting with styling, and sometimes even finding odd modeling gigs through informal sources. The early years tested her resolve. She heard feedback about refining her curves, lightening her skin, slimming down her hips. She pushed herself to extremes in workouts, struggling with body image and trying to fit into an industry that rarely welcomed her kind of figure. But through all that, a deeper conviction was growing. She refused to become a version of herself engineered for somebody else's comfort. Around 2018, she first applied to the highly publicized SI Swim search. She didn't advance far first, because perhaps her own confidence hadn't yet caught up with her ambition. But rather than retreat, she pressed on, refining her platform, producing content on Instagram, and leaning into authenticity. Her social media, under the name @Mrs. became a staging ground for her truth. She documented the behind-the-scenes doubts, the modeling rejections, the skin insecurities, and the breakthrough moments. Through it all, she offered other women something rarer still: permission to inhabit their own bodies proudly. In 2020, she made a leap. Among thousands who applied to SI Swim Search, she became one of the 6 finalists selected for a photo shoot in Turks and Caicos with renowned photographer Yu Tsai. That moment was transformational. The runway, the waves, the sun, the camera, they all affirmed that she belonged. She had not merely broken through an open casting call, she had challenged a narrative. In her own words, being part of SI meant more than modeling. It meant standing for change. From that point forward, her career branched outward. As a curvy model, she aligned with agencies such as Curve Model Management and State Management in Los Angeles, allowing her to take on high-profile modeling opportunities with more leverage than before. Simultaneously, she channeled her vision into entrepreneurship. She founded Mrs. Bree Swim, a size-inclusive swimwear brand offering sizes from XS to 4X, trusting that women deserve swimsuits made for them, not just for what fits within a narrow mold. Beyond swimwear, she launched The Social Renaissance, a social media marketing venture aimed at helping brands communicate with purpose and impact. In this dual life, model and marketer, she seeks to reshape both image and message. Her path hasn't been free of struggle. She regularly confronts criticism on social media, comments about her weight, her skin tone, assumptions about her health. Some days she blocked trolls, other days she used the backlash to teach her followers that beauty isn't synonymous with slimness, and health is not dictated by the scale numbers. She's often spoken candidly about the mental burdens of being a Black curve model, feeling unseen, undervalued, pressured to educate others, carrying the weight of representation. Yet even in those moments, she leans into vulnerability, admitting to burnout, anxiety, self-criticism, and reminding herself that progress over perfection matters. Her presence has resonated. She has collaborated with brands like Nike, H&M, ASOS Curve, Fabletics, and more, proving that diverse bodies can sell, inspire, and reshape market expectations. But for Brielle, success is never only about her own achievements. She measures progress by how many women feel seen, how many young girls dare to wear a bikini, how many voices are uplifted when told they don't fit the mold. In her writing, speaking, and modeling, she weaves a message. You are enough. Your body is your story. Your light mustn't be dimmed so others can feel safe. She often reflects on the girl she was, a teenager who stared at fashion magazines and felt invisible. In touching letters to that younger self, she honors the tears, the feelings of inadequacy, the dreams deferred. But she also gives radical permission. She would tell that girl she would move mountains, that she would challenge norms, and that her worth was never contingent on size. Looking ahead, Brielle continues to expand. She works to scale Mrs. Brie Swim, partnering with designers and size-inclusive manufacturing. She seeks more runway and editorial bookings that defy old beauty boundaries. She mentors emerging models of color and curve, offering advice she lacked early in her career. And she nurtures her community with words, visuals, campaigns to build a world where no one questions whether they belong. In sum, her life is not simply a curvy model biography, it's a living testament to transformation. From Baltimore roots to Los Angeles stages, from rejection letters to magazine spreads, from insecure audition tapes to brand founder, Brielle Anyea embodies the evolution of self and industry. Her narrative continues not as a finished product, but as an invitation to see beauty more broadly, to dismantle barriers, and to champion authenticity in every curve.